Okay. Okay. Hello, guys. Nice to meet you. So great. Hello to Zoom people. I cannot meet you, but I can see your names. Rosenstern, and I'm doing my PhD in Professor Chichurin team. And my topic, I'm so creative that I have every time I have a new topic. Today, I can tell you that my topic is application of AI, research of creativity and related phenomena. Well, we are just in a minute of diving into a series of slides full of bright pictures and ideas. The first half of our class is going to be a lecture. We'll touch a wide range of topics, but in general, it might be overviewed as four main themes. First of all, intelligence and creativity. How can we define them both? The second, artificial creativity. How it works, if it even exists. Next one, human and AI symbiosis in creativity and research. And the last one, what benefits and risks might we face as we dive in. The second half of our class is allocated for group work, and we will hold several experiments and then discuss results. Please note that this class follows the cutting-edge method, innovative method. So here you can see how your brain looks like today, now. And the second picture is how it will look like after the class, if you do well. So after the class, you will be hopefully able to reflect more meaningfully about cognitive processes and phenomena and become more skillful in using AI in your everyday life and study. Please mind the picture learning outcomes, and they are on the slide with tips. One question to Zoom audience: can you see and hear well?
Please, someone from the Zoom, open the mic and tell me.
Maggie is great.
Yeah, okay. Leonid can hear us, but anyone else? We have 18 people.
Anyone except Maggie is still with us, or
you're like
we are...
else.
Leevi, kiitos Ona ja ihana. Super. Kiitos.
Okay. Yes.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, and models. I would like to inform you that I will bother you from time to time. It's completely okay that you can hide away with your monitor, but and so you cannot see how I drink vodka and read my text. This is water, don't worry. But I will sometimes ask questions and ask you to tell something so that not you go to sleep. And well, when I talk about this topic, creativity in the day, usually I start from this picture, which is very common for people, especially for adult people. When it comes to discussion regarding creativity and AI, all the time people split into two groups. One of them are inspired with all things regarding AI, and others feels like it is a miserable attempt to mimic humans. And this debate becomes quite heated. And what about you? You are not teachers, and you are young. And this is the first time I give my lecture for so young people. And my suggestion is maybe you have already got used to live along with AI and consider it as a natural part of your life. So probably the distribution of attitude must be another. Am I right? Could you share your opinion? This is slide open your mic. I mean, you have virtual microphone and tell something, please. Please.
Say that people take AI as a like art tool, for instance, like generating images and stuff. I would say that it's pretty bad. Not just like because it still like works for something, but most of the time the inventors they feed stolen artwork from other artists, and also like basically the AI tries to replicate someone else's artwork, which in turn like steals their creative property. So I would say that's a bit disgusting. And also it's a bit of a problem because AI images aren't always labeled as AI. And for instance, for artists, it can be just a headache because if you use it as a reference picture and like something is weird, you can't really understand what was wrong. And, like, was it your fault or the reference was bad? And sometimes it's also used for catfishing people and whatnot. So, I mean, if it would be labeled, probably we could say like, okay, that's fine. But at the moment, it's just really non.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have an opinion. Yeah, the thing is like even it's marked. For example, right now you can open some journals like for, I don't know, fashion, and there could be marked like this model is completely AI. So there is no photographer, there is no makeup artist, there is no one, and it's written like as previously it was like done by this photographer. Right now there is written it's a prompt done by la la la. It still feels kind of unethical,
Yeah.
even if it's marked. So I think like, you know, it's even I think sometimes marking it doesn't help to accept that it's AI or not AI.
Yesterday I was looking, but unfortunately I could not find. It was a very funny picture I met once. It was a pattern of a sleeping cat, knitted cat, and it has 5 legs, like a classic mistake of AI. But it was a picture like, please, we can invite, we can offer you this pattern. This is knitted cat. Okay.
Once again, most of the information that is fed into the systems is either stolen, unchecked, or just is straight up from somewhere from the internet. A lot of the times, what AI gives is nice, so hilarious, but mostly it's wrong. And the problem is that people don't really understand it, especially if it's something like complicated. For instance, someone decided to use AI to find some kind of like, for instance, test trials or something, and if the AI lies, they can't really check it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, usually it doesn't really cost our lives, but it could.
Yeah, agree. This we are on the eve of unbelievable AI era, and we cannot even imagine how the human mental space might be transformed during the time. So it is indeed it is a great shift in our human life. So, but now let's go to the safe and cute little spot regarding creativity, and let's talk further. Well, usually when people argue about something, they can hardly define it properly. So let's start from there. I'd like to offer you two definitions, which I hope will give you the intuition to better understand how all this works. First of all, definition of the intelligence we can use for our purpose. Intelligence is a human, animal, or system mechanism that autonomously transfers a piece of information I into a behavior B or item of knowledge K. This good, to my mind, definition I borrowed from the paper on the philosophical, cognitive, and mathematical foundation of symbiotic autonomous systems by Yung-Hsu Wang from 2021.
21. Everything is
Okay. People have been curious for ages about what intelligence, talent, and creativity are. A recent couple of centuries, 20th and 21st, gave a lot of research and brought scientific significant breakthroughs in philosophy, which made possible to build artificial intelligence and teach it to perform human-like tasks. Well, and then the second definition, what about creativity? Creativity can be defined as production of new knowledge from already existing knowledge, or going beyond the creativity is a problem solving. This is words of Professor Arthur I. Miller, whose field of study is the theory of creativity. Here you can see his book, and there is a website called Artist in the Machine, which explores creativity in the age of machines, our creativity and theirs, machines. Okay, do you think creativity in engineering is the same as in fine art? Probably no.
Depends on the concept. Like here, a painting of Leonardo da Vinci and his blueprints, and at some point he was experimenting with the medium, which is more like engineering experimental than artistic, but it's still with art.
That's true. But what I wanted to say that usually art creation characterized as a free creation process, and engineering creation is featured as constrained creation process. For sure, even art creation has its own limits, and it depends on technologies how to create the art. But as to concept, what we would like to tell by our art, we are not constrained, but engineering creation is really constrained. And what are the constraints? First of all, natural laws, resources, and ethical principles and legislation. But we still need to stay focused on the learning objectives of the course, since we might eventually define creativity for our purpose as the ability to generate new ideas on demand. Do you remember this gentleman? You haven't met him yet, but you seen him already twice. And maybe you have been watching videos, yes?
not yet.
Not yet, okay. But I will tell you some spoiler. this gentleman tells we collected in the course a number of tools and methods of how to systematically generate new ideas on demand. We are going to teach an algorithm of ideation. And the course in general makes a clear distinction between optimization and invention. In the first case, the aim to achieve a result while staying within a certain given set of parameters. In the second, we boldly change the parameters themselves. However, I must say that these two processes always go hand in hand. New idea and then optimization, optimization, optimization. Although, of course, from the cognitive perspective, different processes involve different mechanisms, and they are fundamentally different. Okay, we agreed that one of the constraints when it comes to engineering sort of creativity is natural laws. But what exactly are natural laws? Any intelligent agent is only capable of operating within a current representation of natural laws, a kind of old model or system of beliefs or structured knowledge. The old model is going to be shaped by our perception, and that perception is determined by the achievement of modern science available through education and personal experience. Well, shaped by our perception. Yes, the world model is shaped by our perception. But what is perception? Perception is the process of acquiring, interpreting, and organizing sensory information to understand the environment. It relies on the brain's ability to process input from the senses, vision, sound, touch, taste, and smell, to form a coherent experience of reality. This process is shaped by our prior knowledge, personal experience, and cognitive biases. Hermann Ludwig Ferdinand von Helmholtz, a German physicist and physician, made major contributions across various scientific fields. But one of the most influential ideas of this scientist is the concept of unconscious inference in perception. Helmholtz viewed perception as a form of unconscious inference, that is, symbolic representation of reality that are clarified through converging input from multiple senses. He proposed that the brain interprets incomplete and ambiguous sensory data by automatically generating assumptions based on past experience. Do you think AI may have perception? Can AI understand? What does it mean to understand? Well, understanding is the ability to interpret and make sense of perceived information by recognizing patterns, relationships, and meanings. Understanding goes beyond perception by integrating knowledge, context, and reasoning to produce deeper insight and comprehension. Understanding enables analysis, explanation, and the ability to predict the outcomes based on available data. But can AI demonstrate genuine understanding? As usual, there are two opposite views. One side, taking positive stance, often refers to Turing test. If AI behaves indistinguishably from the human, then it might be considered intelligent. The opposite idea came from philosopher John Roger Searle, who challenged this notion with his famous thought experiment called Chinese room argument. The idea is that we have two rooms. In one room, we have a computer which is fluent in Chinese, and in another room, with a closed door, is sitting another computer or a person who only speaks English. Computer writes something in in Chinese, and somebody sleeps this message under the door. And a person in the room who just can speak English can answer in perfect Chinese because he is provided, or she, with a comprehensive guide in English. It is an instruction how to answer in Chinese for every case in life. So the idea of Searle is that that is exactly what computer does. It doesn't understand, but it can mimic intelligence. Do you want to define any position?
There was a computer that passed the Turing test, but they kind of cheated because they specifically made a model that was I think like a 11-year-old boy whose mother tongue wasn't English and he was writing in English, and because of that they got extra credit points. So it was more believable and it was harder to catch computer itself. I would say that because Chinese room always kind of information, it's like mimicking. I wouldn't say that it has like a full grasp.
Chinese room, it is not experiment. It is not
It's an experiment, but it's just
it is just a visualization of the phenomena.
Anyone else? Anyone online? We have 18 people online. By the way, I asked to someone. Yes, we can. So for a context, there was small debate about because Leonid is not cannot hear us because it's covered a little bit right now. The thing was Evelina, I think. She told like there was a not true Turing test because it was like kind of cheated version when the person wasn't actually English speaker, and kind of there was like the
as a non-English speakers.
yes. So
Okay, I'd say that when I think about Chinese room argument, I can see one tricky part, and it is all about detailed set of English instruction to simulate Chinese conversation, because I can hardly imagine if it is existing thing. You can never provide the comprehensive instruction and use it during the experiment, how to answer any combination of.
I would argue that in some point, especially people that are, for instance, opened up to the written language, but they have never heard it, at some point it becomes something along the lines of, oh, what's that? I'm pretty sure, but they always send this one option. So it would be more like a set of scripts. For instance, for every string of characters, you send another string of characters, but you really don't get what you are writing or what the person was asking.
Of course, you can have some feeling, some suggestion, but you never can answer perfect Chinese, and you never can provide this instruction how to answer without understanding. And the second point is that today machine learning algorithms work without such comprehensive instructions, so that is the fact.
Yeah, I would also add, we had a lecture from the person from Czech Republic. I think Leonid also remembers that, about like that actually native speakers, they sometimes can speak improper language because for them it's native and they can play with grammar compared to the people who are like for them it's kind of second or like third language or something like that. I remember it was like from the like a language creativity perspective. It's really was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, here we have problem with Puhukieli.
Yes. Exactly. So is the
All-
Finnish Puhukieli
Yes,
is
all Finnish
right.
people understand easily, but
Yes.
not me.
Yeah.
There are countless theories attempting to define consciousness, and you can see several examples. But let's go further. We want different. Well, please meet Judy Pearl, a pioneer of causal world modeling in AI. His approach emphasizes the ability to understand and represent the world in terms of cause and effects relationships, rather than relying solely on statistical correlations. By doing so, AI system gains the capacity to make more accurate predictions and better informed decisions. Let's ask his opinion. Can a machine act like, for example, Einstein?
Einstein doesn't completely throw out Newtonian physics. It's still in there, but he refines it by making a local perturbation. Can a machine perform a local perturbation? Not today, but I can envision how it can be done. A machine that decides what experiments to perform next should also be able to modify its theory and continue to progress. That's how I think general AI will eventually become smarter than scientists.
Well, Professor Pearl said that machine cannot do this local perturbation today, but I can tell you about Dr. Toller, and he says that machine can. A novel form of neurocomputing allows machines to generate new concepts along with their anticipated consequences, all encoded as chained associative memories. Knowledge is accumulated by a system through direct experience as network chaining topologies form in response to various environmental input patterns. Such neural networks-based geometric encoding of entities, actions, and relationships may hint at how the human brain represents and evaluates the behavior of its neurons state. It may also be the paradigm which open the way to achieve sentient artificial general intelligence. So it looks like we are not talking about uniquely human talent after all, are we? Why having all these prerequisites like knowledge and systems of beliefs, we still face problem when it comes to inventing something? What do you think is the idea of this amazing picture by GPT-4o? What is this guy? Who is this guy?
Yeah, use your imagination.
What prompt
Yeah, what was the
Was-
idea of Anna? You can, it's there couldn't be wrong answers. Let's say wrong answers only. What could be, what is inside? What was the idea maybe?
Okay, I will share with you the idea. It is the thinking inertia.
Is it thinking
Yes,
inertia?
I asked to
Okay, yeah.
create image of thinking inertia, and here you are.
No.
Do you like it?
I don't know anything but not like thinking inertia. Beautiful piece of art, but I cannot say it illustrates thinking inertia to my eyes. Yeah.
And how good were you in the thinking inertia quiz? And do you think AI might be as good as you were?
This is important question, by the way.
Try when you have time.
Yeah, if you have time, you can try to answer the same questions with the help of AI.
Yeah.
Would AI be creative? Would AI generate? It's exciting. I simply have no time to do it, but I mean, if you have, it would be very interesting to see what would be the score of AI in this test.
Yeah, we actually can upload the quiz because we have that quiz, the same quiz. You can also use that for your own pleasure, but we can also upload that and you can also try to do that with AI at home. And after, like next time, you will share your, I don't know, opinion about that. Was it like same successful, less successful, or like, I don't know, like it was perfect, like 100%. So, and we can after check because there is also difference between different chats and etc. So, nice task. I will do that.
Okay. And as the professor already said, our thinking inertia, it is good and bad at the same time. And all that we know or believe appears to us as plausible or at least possible. Each time our brain processes new input, it evaluates the likelihood of that information by taking into account our overall experience. And do you think this means we need to loosen the ties of our system of beliefs in order to create something outstanding?
In art, maybe yes, for sure. In art, but not in physics, not in engineering. To my, what?
I didn't say refuse from our knowledge and distract our system of beliefs, but just a bit loosen. And I asked the question because the next slide is about virtual input phenomena. It was interesting and actually a crucial experiment held in 1995 in America by Dr. Tyler, I mentioned before. And he reported on an admittedly controversial phenomenon, namely neural networks becoming creative in the midst of their death throe. What was the experiment? The researcher took a simple neural network, trained it to respond for certain input with certain pattern, and then started pruning connection between nodes. And you can see on this picture the result of this experiment. Then the input pattern was the same all the time. It was constant. So the left corner, you can see the normal state of neural network. It has as input, let's say 0, and shows correct pattern. When we start destroying connection, just watching for the same constant input, the network starts inventing new ideas. Mostly all these patterns it have seen during the training, but it is correct response for another input, not only zero. You see? So this means that in anthropomorphic terms, the nets were forced to look at only one thing, but instead perceived a series of alternative objects as their internal architectures degraded. At the end, when we have 30% ruined connection, it shows the opposite result. You see? Well, do you know what Dr. Thaler did next? Please meet his the creativity machine paradigm. Minimally, the paradigm consists of two artificial neural nets of any kind. One of them is a generator, which chaotically is simulated by various forms of internal or external disturbances and create false memories that are then evaluated by another one, a critic, which predicts their novelty, utility, or value. The critic nets also modulates the level of perturbation so that enforce the important confabulation of generator and weakening all others. Finally, the generator becomes an associative memory enriched in the most meritorious pattern-based notions. Well, what does this generator do? It provides confabulation or hallucinations, maybe more or less the same. A confabulation in AI refers to the generated of plausible but incorrect or unsupported responses by artificial intelligence systems. This occurs when an AI model, such as a language model, attempts to fill gaps in its training data or knowledge by producing answers that sound logical and coherent but are factually inaccurate or fabricated. Now, what is your opinion? Can confabulation considered as a kind of creativity?
I will type my answer. I will type, not to disturb.
Okay.
Do you remember the definition of creativity we have talked about in the beginning? The creativity was determined as creating new knowledge, which are new compared to existing ones. So, in a certain extent, confabulation can be seen as an example of human creativity or a process by which the brain creates narrative to understand or explain the world without enough data. Well, it can be suggested that there is a parallel between artificial and human creativity. If we look at the four-stage model of creativity developed by Graham Walls, who studied the creativity of great minds like Poincaré and Einstein, we'll see that one of the stages is called incubation. The period during which the inventor is not consciously thinking about the problem. This stage typically precedes the moment of insight. Here is a well-known example which comes from Poincaré himself, I have already mentioned today. While working on a particularly difficult problem, he suddenly had a breakthrough at the very moment he was lifting his foot to step into an omnibus. Here is his words. At the moment when I put my foot on the step, the idea came to me without anything in my former thoughts seeming to have paved the way for it, that the transformation that I had used to define the Fuchsian functions were identical with those of non-Euclidean geometry. According to Poincaré, the key was that he has distracted his attention and allowed himself to step away from the task for a while. Based on the creativity machine paradigm, artificial inventor Debus was created. The full name of this thing is a device for the autonomous bootstrapping of unified sentience. Debus has invented two novel products: a food container constructed using fractal geometry, which enables rapid reheating, and the flicking beacon for attracting attention in emergency. The patent for Debus is registered in South Africa in 2021, but all others, countries and patent systems did not recognize Debus as an inventor because all existing patent laws require the inventor to be a human.
May I give a quick comment, if possible?
Please.
Yeah. Very quick comment, because I'm just discussing this case with a patent attorney from South Africa. And it's very interesting. It's amazing case because I think you follow the drama that it is the first recorded case when artificial intelligence was called inventor in a patent application. And it looks like, but we are in the middle of our discussion, it looks like the only difference of the patent law in South Africa is that the definition of inventor is not given. In all other countries, inventor should be a physical person, while in South Africa it is not written, and that is why technically it was possible to get a patent for AI. Quite interesting thing. Yeah. Do you think it is fair to call a neural network inventor, because from A to Z everything was written and prepared by artificial intelligence? Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I can add that this case is actually unique and very interesting, and it gives a big boost for the discussion. And there is certain resources in internet about this Debus case, and also several, at least one country admitted that Debus is an inventor, but then refused. So only South Africa gave us this first recognition AI as a real inventor, but it is a real inventor, so that's true. Well, let's discuss what all this stuff can bring to us and how to benefit of this. For sure, the humanity has already learned how to collaborate with AI, both in the field of art and engineering. There are a lot of examples from Google, IBM, when engineers create and work along with AI assistant. When preparing for this lecture, I found interesting NASA affiliated study, of human AI co-design. Researchers observed three distinct strategies that professionals adopt when working with generative AI in NASA. Intimate co-design. Designer engage deeply with AI as a partner, iterating and shaping the idea together. The second strategy, selective delegation. AI is treated as a tool for specific subtasks like brainstorming or drafting, while humans retain control over decision and editing. And minimal use. Some professionals rely very little on AI, either due to skepticism, lack of trust, or preferences for traditional methods. Key findings of this research is that three strategies reflect not only technical possibility, but also human attitudes, confidence in AI, and ethical consideration. How do you feel? Which strategy is considered as most effective out of these three? I will recall intimate co-design, selective delegation, treated like a tool, and minimal use.
Say effective in terms of results. Or no.
Overall result, of course, they are solving hard engineering tasks. Yes, so you see, and sorry.
I think select delegation just because if we do a co-designing, this means that we trust that the system which goes like light loss and like completely to trust the system completely feels it's weird.
But actually, why you say completely? When you work together with someone, if you have an intelligent assistant, you anyway you need to use your critical thinking, and when you collaborate ideas, you can share and work together. But anyway, it is not blind trust what AI say. So according to the research, most effective outcomes often arose when people treated AI as a collaborator rather than just a tool. So they are okay with the result of these teams. And however, diversity in strategies is valuable. Overall, the study highlights that human agency and choice shape the quality of human AI synergy more than the technology itself. Well, now enjoy the beautiful painting. This is Claire Silver NFT daughter. This is one of lot at Christie first all AI auction, which happened in March this year. The day top lot was Anadol's Machine Hallucination ISS Dreams, which transforms 1.2 million images captured by the International Space Station into a dynamic AI-generated composition. And now let's guess which one of these images is the machine hallucination. Left or right?
This one. This one.
Left, yes.
All right.
This one, we see the QPR and yes, took as much as a baby not total response. Yes.
Mhm. Good points. Anybody else?
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Mhm. Okay, the right answer is left. The left. And what about the right one? This is curious painting. It was created by Konrad Zuse. And this is scientist. He works during mostly during the Second World War, and he is considered as the father of first programmable computer, ZTI. And also he liked painting, and this is his masterpiece, I'd say. When I saw it, I immediately decided to compare. Looks interesting. Well, this is Zuse. And what about story of human AI collaboration? Do you think it goes smoothly all the time without bump on the road? Of course not. More than 1,000 musicians, including Annie Lennox and Damon Albarn, released a silent album recently in protest of planned UK government changes to copyright law. We should make easier for AI companies to train models using copyrighted work without a license. Artists hope the album entitled "Is This What We Want?" will draw attention to the potential harm of the UK music industry. But how does human audience perceive AI-generated art? I have an example of study from the world of poetry. Interesting experiment was done. The study examined whether non-expert readers could reliably differentiate between AI-generated poems, haiku, and those written by well-known human poets. Notably, participants were more likely to judge AI-generated poems as human-authored than actual human-authored poems, and if they consider this as a human art, they mark them as a favorable one. So why it is so hard to recognize? This is all because of Jan Goodfellow and his colleagues. Goodfellow was working in Google DeepMind and Google Brain and Apple, and has made several important contributions to the field of deep learning, including the invention of the Generative Adversarial Network, GAN. In this GAN, two neural networks compete with each other in the form of zero-sum game, when gain of one agent means loss of another one. Given a training set, this technique learns to generate new data with the same statistics as the training sets. For example, gain trained on photographs can generate new photographs that look authentic to human observers, having many realistic characteristics. Remember all these 6 fingers? Yes, five legs. Okay. But humanity must learn how to benefit from the shared creativity by using strengths of both sides. Let's look positively. Do you remember Yung-Hsi Wang and his definition of the intelligence about mechanism that allows transfer piece of information into behavior or item of knowledge? And this definition was borrowed from his paper about autonomous systems. Symbiotic autonomous systems means human and AI, published in 2021. But the first thinker who elaborated ideas of the symbiosis was Joseph Karl Robert Licklider. Man-computer symbiosis is a work by Licklider published in 1960. The paper contained ideas now considered fundamental to the modern computing revolution. The idea of benefiting from co-working with AI seems reasonable both from the standpoint of common sense, two heads are better than one, and from the perspective of modern scientific research. Firstly, we can benefit by making use of the ideas generated by AI, in a sense putting its hallucination to work for us, while co-working with AI, discussing ideas, interpreting your artificial partner's feedback, and drawing on its quick references, the human intellect receives a powerful boost. Even when AI produces nonsense, the mind can be stimulated to generate a stream of good ideas, and it works. Secondly, what if AI were able to monitor our collaborative mental process and deliberately distract human attention, nudging us into an incubation phase at just the right moment? It's also promising to my mind. But what if AI turns out to be too creative? When you are a user and you are not happy with the result, what can be done to improve it? Of course, the more technology develops, the more new techniques appears. But now we can focus on three basic pillars. First of all, critical thinking. Indeed, then intelligent prompting, and retrieval augmented generation. To get the best result, you need to stay sharp, critically evaluate everything your AI assistant gives you, but at the same time, don't accidentally dismiss a potentially valuable idea. Why wording matters? AI follows instruction literally, but also interprets context. That's why we have so many tips how to improve our prompting. First of all, context prompting. Provide specific details instead of general queries. Few-shot learning. Instead of providing just one question, give multiple examples to help AI learn your preferred response style. Step-by-step prompts. This is the most important. Chain of thoughts. Chain of thought reasoning is a technique that makes the model explicitly break down its reasoning process into steps. This improves the model ability to solve complex problems. Instead of providing an immediate answer, the model explains the process leading to the solution. Probably you have experience, for example, with DeepSeek. Interesting to read it inner contemplation. Why user asking this? Maybe this means that. Blah 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 blah. Interesting. Role-based prompts assign a role for the AI to shape the response style. Example-driven prompts show the AI what kind of answer you expect, like format, or provide an answer in the following format: introduction, key points, conclusion, or make a file with such content, or make a table with columns, and like this. And iterative refinement. Ask for clarification on each step. It also helps. One more thing. If you feel that it goes on the wrong way and starts generating some rubbish, you just quit the chat and start another one, because most situation it doesn't work anymore. Don't try to survive within this chat. Here is about context window. Have you ever forgotten someone's name right immediately after the person was introduced? In the large language model, the context window size plays a similar role as the short-term memory in human mind. It's an internal characteristic that defines model horizon, how far back it can remember and effectively work with input data. Try asking AI, can it remember the information you provided in the current chat? What about information in some old chat already closed? Or even in this same conversation, both, but it was started yesterday. What do you think based on your own experience? Can AI remember anything beyond a certain chat?
If the chat is closed, the information should be, maybe they don't need it really, but so you can access it once again. And the chat, I think it's supposed to remember.
Yes, that's true. I asked ChatGPT, and here is its response for my request. Well, here's the thing. In most cases, AI doesn't actually remember anything the way humans do. It works with what's in the active context window we are talking about. That is the current conversation up to a certain number of tokens. So it might be so long current chat that is out of context window. And so when it cannot remember. If the message falls outside that window, it is gone, forgotten like a name you never bothered to repeat. What can be done with this? Of course, it is somebody wants to join us. What can be done? The answer is RAG, which was invented by Patrick Lewis, natural language processing research scientist in Cohere. Lewis once joked that if he and his team had known the abbreviation would be so widely used, they would have put more efforts and time to invent a better name. But anyway, RAG is a technique that enables generative artificial intelligence models to retrieve and incorporate new information from the specified set of documents, using this to supplement information from its pre-existing training data. This allows LLM to use domain-specific and/or updated information and helps to reduce AI hallucination. Well, at the end of the lecture, I'd like to treat you with several examples of modern human artistic creativity and what they say. The first example is Mikhail Shemyakin, artist, theatric designer and director, researcher and teacher. His research is based on comparative analysis of the juxtaposition of related work from different cultures and eras. The material archive consists of sheets of black paper with reproducing pasted work from onto them, organized by them according to the principle of visual similarity. So he has a big project, Musée Imaginaire. And now there is not only paper based collection, but also online platform And here you can find vast range of collection. For example, shoes in painting or staircases or many other things. It's curious. And this musée imaginaire conception can help us to explore the space of visual concepts in which a human artist lives and works. And when you invite AI as a collaborator, you gain the ability to soar within a multiplied space of concepts, and that is truly amazing. The next guy is Refik Anadol. Do you remember his machine hallucination from Christie auction? The artist creates an immersive visual installation using an ethically sourced collection of and own datasets of images trained by his big international team generative AI models powered by renewable energy. The processed data is transformed into architectural audiovisual environments that evoke emotions, awareness, and call actions. Here is his words. For as long as I can remember, I have imagined data as more than just information. I have seen it as a living, breathing material, a pigment with infinite possibilities. Well, the second artist is photographer Dalia Drezer. She stands out as an optimist and believer in AI powers. She considers AI as simply another medium that can unlock creative potential and artistic vision that may have never been realized without it. Using generative AI models like Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, etc., Drezer trained an AI image generator on her style. I believe technology is here to supercharge ours. When generative AI entered the mainstream, I knew I wanted to get my hands dirty right away. I was already in the world of NFTs, but this was a different conversation. It took over a year of experimentation and dialogue with image generators to feel comfortable finally creating a piece to include in a body of work. And here is David Schauder, a visionary and at the crossroad of art and code. He explores the creative tension of AI with fearless curiosity. AI offers endless tools, yet challenges us to stay human. Deep idea, yeah? For Schauder, the real art lies not in what machines can generate, but in how we guide them, infusing cold algorithms with warm intents. In this digital age, he dares us to ask, can creativity survive automation or will it evolve with it? His journey is a plea to shape AI not just as a tool, but as a mirror of our imagination. An interesting fact that he completed his master fellowship at the School of Arts, Design and Architecture at the Aalto University in Helsinki, and now he lives and works in Berlin. Well, let's summarize. Critical thinking, flexibility, and natural creativity is all you need to benefit from co-working with AI. I hope I could convince you that AI more or less can generate creative ideas, but need critics. It can be critic of your own ideas. It can provide anticipated consequences for your own ideas. And if you use special techniques such as chain of thoughts and retrieval augmented generation, you can succeed more. And now, if you followed along successfully, your brain state should be like this. Please check. Now we will have a break.
It will be long break, 30 or I think 25 minutes break, and we will return back 15:30. Yes.
Это просто
Yes.
just for